So, hi there everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Rich Clark, Guide to the Right Path. I'm going to show you today a recipe which is about how you use spices which you think are kind of near the end of their shelf-life, but it also works with very much helping you to give you a solid food base which you can eat as a breakfast, you can eat as a solid, kind of leftovers type of thing, and it's also based on kind of like South Indian traditions and the idea of that. So the first of all thing is, when you do that, you'll see, I'm going to just turn on the oven. And one of the things that's in India, what they do is they always, very much, you can see there's ginger in here, is they always actually cook their spices first. So I'm going to show you this, which is going to be a few of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a teaspoon, see a teaspoon, and we're going to do a teaspoon of all these different herbs. So first of all, because this is going to be a mango ricing, I'm going to do this with the main ginger. I'm going to do a teaspoon of turmeric powder. You can actually use fresh turmeric if you want. The powder is quite good for this, to give it its colour. I'm going to do it with a tablespoon coriander, a tablespoon of ginger. You're going to have some cayenne pepper. Ingredients to give it its colour. Also try and make sure that no all the spices go everywhere in your kitchen, like I just did there. This is some cumin. And with this also I'm going to do the next thing. Now this is a very famous thing which they do in India quite a lot. It's called Garam Masala. Now I'm using baths, but if I just explain what this is, we do like a spoonful. I'm actually do it as a heat spoonful. And this has coriander, cumin, which I've already put in, turmeric, cassia, which is cinnamon, black pepper, cloves, ginger, dill seed, and cardamon. So it actually gives it a little bit more strength. And all this is going to be stirred with a spoon, and you just keep doing this until you get it. So you can start smelling all the aromas coming out. What I'm also going to do is add a bit of star anise, which is also gives it that lovely sort of smell. And then this is also called, they call it sunot in Gujarati, but we also, in Indian language, we call it fennel seeds. So we put the fennel seeds. This is all going in here, all cooking. Now you obviously got to make sure, because it's getting very hot, is just make sure you turn it down slightly so it's not overly hot. Yeah? Otherwise it will burn. So you can start smelling it because it's getting toasty. Right? Then what we'll do is we're going to add 2 bay leaves, as you can see in here. And now we're going to add other sauces as well, little teaspoons. Everything with little teaspoons. And again, wash your spoon out because you don't really want mixing too much. So that is this is what you do for katsu, but it's actually it's a chili paste. So chili is really useful, especially when you want that flavour. Again, just wash the spoon again. So the other one is tamarind, which gives it a very sweet taste. Now, do a bit of that. And I'm now just using another spoon because I just had that in my mouth. So as you can see here, you can hear, this has just been off the pan and it's just already cooking. Now, to give it some moisture, we're going to do, which they do in India, it's called ghee, but we're going to actually use a knob of butter. This is actually more than a knob, this is about 2 knobs of butter. And we're going to do that now and melt that into the pot. Now we're melting that into the pot, as you can see, just giving it, that's now going to give that the spices a real lovely flavour and kind of a marinade. While you're doing that with the marinade, and then I'm now going to start adding some liquids. So the big one we're going to do here is, I'm going to show you here, is I'm going to cut up 3 large tomatoes. These are called negro tomatoes, and they're from Spain. And these are very, very rich in phytonutrients, very good for haemoglobin, for the blood. Again, just gives it the liquid you need. Now, traditionally, tomatoes actually aren't native to India. They were brought over by the Portuguese. In South India, because there is a lot of Portuguese influence and French influence, they do use it in a lot of their dishes. So, as you can see that now frying away, as you get all this Lovely, different textures. So imagine all the different textures you've got. And the one thing in Indian food, they like to have all your senses covered. So we talk about sweet and sour and so forth. What they like is they like everything to be that you get at least 7 of the senses, astringent, bitter, so forth. So here, this is some lemon. Again, just putting all this moisture in. Give it now because we've already done that. And again, you can see I'm squeezing the lemon in. Squeezing the lemon in. And again, to get as much as you can out. And now do this with a lime as well. The lime as well. Full lime, full lemon. And if you want, you can go keep it to the side. Keep it to the side in case you need any more. So I think we've got enough here of spices for now. And this, as you can see now, giving this lovely rich aroma, sort of a very pungent smell. Now, the next one we're going to do is add a thing called, maybe not really many know, this is called neighbour over for familiar, which is called kalak namak. And this is called black salt. It's got a bit of sulphur in it. It gives it that little bit of, like, since vegetarians don't get eggs, or vegans don't, this gives it that lovely taste. Now obviously this is only for vegetarians because of the butter, but you could use the vegan equivalent if you want. So here, as you see now, it's very rich, the smell. You can see that smell, that pungent smell. It's getting there, the aromas are all coming off here. And so what I want to do now is I'm going to cut some red peppers. It's a red bell pepper, as you can hear in the background, keep cutting. You won't be able to see it, unfortunately it's not massive, so it should be. I'm also cutting a green long pepper as well. This again, so we get this, so this actually starts giving this, the bitterness added. Because obviously with different peppers, what they do is, why they've got different colours is because they're how they're ripened. So with red and green, you've got the red is the most, because it's sweet, the green is more, the less ripened. So, but this works very well because of what the flavours you want. Also, because they contain water, so it gives it the water content, which still adds to the flavour. So we've got a lot of red pepper in here today, quite unusual for me, but I do want that because I'm wanting to add up and give myself some immunity coming into the autumn and winter months. And vitamin C and red pepper is ideal for that. So this actually works as a remedy as well as food for you, and you're getting rid of food and not wasting it. So while we're doing this, you see all these flavours are really coming out now, really pungent, smelling, and really like, you know, quite smell the exoticness of it. So when you're getting that, now you're getting into this, which is, these are drained lentils and chickpeas. So again, put them in. And this will give it a bit of texture now. As you can see now, we're getting this real fine texture. Now, another thing I've got here, if you want to do, is sunflower seeds, just to give a bit of like texture of hardness, because I think that here will get quite soft. So what we're going to do now, because I did say it was actually using mango, we need to cut up a mango. So the mango, most people would just cut it up into chunks and so forth. So as you can see here, cutting it all up, and slicing it up. So here what I'm going to do is something slightly different. So instead of cutting it all in, I'm actually going to blend it in like this. So actually I'm using the skin and I'm pushing it in to there. So at the moment you've got all this wastage of the skins, and again I'm going to explain why you can use that, because sometimes when you've actually left it a while, you can get more juice out in the end to add more to the rice, to give it moisture. Because remember, we're going to put rice in here, so you need to have as much moisture for the rice to take on. So again, going to get all this mango out, all this juice out. Make sure there's no skin going in, because as much as mango skin's nice, you see just squeezing it all. Imagine you've had a bad day, you've got one of these stress balls, you get all the mango out of the mango. And this way you're not getting it all, so you're actually putting it in the juice, getting all of that squeezed in. That's about as much as I can get out. I mean, I can squeeze as much as possible, but that's about as much as I can get out. And I would just say just a little bit more of the lemon you've got left, a bit more of the lime, more of the lemon again, and now we can now chuck that away. And again, always while you're doing this, always if you can, wash your hands, because it gets very sticky, especially mango. So we've had all our spices in here, and as you can see, got some of the mango on the side, so always clean up after yourself, because no one wants to be cleaning up after your mess in the kitchen. And then this is where we then look at adding the rice. So again, just let the mango settle in and just make this very juicy. Now you can see all the juices are in there. So now we've got to now add the rice. Now what I have done is I put some rice before, the night before, and you can see it's all dry. But what I did is I put some Garam Masala in there before, some some Fennel Seeds, and that is mixed in. So now we're going to empty that container all into here. And this is about 3 handfuls of rice. So this can feed at least a family of 3 or 4. You know, it's got 2 children, 2 adults. Really good, like hearty meal. So now you're mixing all this rice in. Can you now see how it gets very, very large? It becomes now very hearty. So you can see the rice now. You've got to keep overlapping it like you're folding bread. You keep doing that until you get. You see the rice now is taking up all them juices. And what you do now, because you've had it on medium boil, because obviously you don't want it overcooking, is then you add some heat to it. So now the heat is now bubbling away. Working with that, and as you can now see, hopefully, you can see all these things like cooking. It's getting all that rice all cooked. Now, what I do for an option, and this is up to you, is sometimes to make it a little bit more creamy, or a little bit more less of the spice, because some people can't handle spices so much. I recommend, if you're a vegetarian, this is sheep's yogurt, and this is from a company called Gut Bio. I get this in Spain, it's excellent quality. Sheep's yogurt, because sheep's yogurt is quite mild. But again, if you're vegan, you'll have to get the equivalent. Again, that's up to you. So I would actually put 1, 2, I think 3, I can call them dollops, but there's actually like tablespoons worth. And again, with your jar, chuck it away, it's all empty. Now what I'm going to do as well is clean the main spoon. And at the moment I think I've used all the spice up. Now I think this is probably going to be well enough. So you can see now, just put the yogurt in and how you can see the colour is changing. It's got a lot lighter. It just gives it that like, that's a bit more milder taste, and it's now become more like dal consistency. It just gives it that lovely, like, just softens it a bit more, because sometimes the spices are quite over pungent. And if you're not used to that, it's just what I would do. I personally just do it because in case of people who don't like spices, I do. So again, now you just allow this to cook for about another, probably 2 to 4 minutes. And while we're doing that, one of the things you should always do, you'll see with professional chefs, is always taste your food. So the one thing is, you always get it from the side, check it. Now that's got very lot of spun, it's very pungent, it's quite good, but it's milded with the sheep yogurt. It's made it slightly milder and easier on the palate. As you can see now, it's bubbling away. Now also, done it to the side, also do it in the middle as well. Again, always what you should do is wash your spoon. So again, wash your spoon, and then try it in the middle. Yes, you can actually, what you can taste on that is a mixture of the fruit, of the mango and the lemon and lime. You can also taste the back end of the ginger, coriander, mainly the cinnamon and the garam masala taste, and you can do that. What you can do is to make it slightly a little bit duller. As you can see now, this cooks a lot for a lot of people. So you can see it's really now taking shape. All them spices are in there. So now just go to put it subtly now on the lowest form of heat. And now with that, what you can do is just prepare each dish, and I would say do it one of two ways. If you're greedy guts, you can have a bowl like this, and that could be just your main food. If not, you can also do it as a little side dish. And if you decided you wanted to do naans, or you wanted to do rotis, or whatever that is, then you'd have the little dish, and then you can literally use this because it actually works as a sort of masala type, and then also the rice, and then you can start adding dipping and so forth. Again, remember in Indian culture we don't eat with our left hand, we only eat with our right hand, because our left hand, unfortunately, is our bum wiping hand. So you don't really want to eat with your bum wiping hand, would you? No. So with that, is that you now, as you can see, it's subtlety, it's all here. This, I said feed 3 to 4 people. I think this actually feed more, I'd say. But this is ideal to make. And then what you would do to do the rotis, which I will show another time, is how you do that. And you create roti. You do that on a roti pan, or or you can do it with what's the other thing? Naans. You can do it with flat bread, anything like that. And then that kind of gives you that vibrancy. Now this is what I would call utilising all your ingredients. You don't have to spend a lot. I mean, these nuts and these are Waitrose and stuff like that. But again, I usually use, you can use as cheap chilli as you want actually. Tamarind, I think, is probably one of the key ingredients because it's actually a very sweet paste, but it's actually natural, there's no sugar in it. And so what you do is you're getting that sweet, the sour, you're getting the pungent, you're getting the astringent, you're getting the bitter, and you're getting the health remedies of this because this is so warming as well. So what it does, it builds up the immune system. If you've got any phlegm on the chest, it brings it out. And I'm now going to remove this. Now what you can do is let it settle a little bit. As you can see, it's sort of bubbling around, and I'm going to show you what it will look like. So if we just put some of this in here, you can hear that, sort of all the textures. So all that texture is in here. As you can see, all that texture's all there. It's all boiling hot, and you just get that real sort of deep taste, and then you would then eat it. And what you will find is eating it on your own, but actually the mango comes out quite strong because it's actually then absorbed it with all the spices. And the difference is here, it's not what people mainly do. In a lot of countries they put the spices in afterwards, but in India they always do the spices first, and that's what makes the pungency taste of it. So hope you enjoy, and give me your thoughts if you make it yourself and how it should taste. Speak to you soon.